Hello everyone, welcome to part 25 module 1 computer networks. So far we were discussing the ISO OSI reference model and we saw how that model is working and its layers, their responsibilities, protocols, everything in detail. Now we move on to our attention to the next popular model called the TCP/IP reference model, and even though it is mentioned as a reference model, it is the implemented model and is the dominant currently the most dominating network architecture that is being used in most of the current networks. So that is the thing, but that ISO OSI model, it's still used as a reference model and it's being proposed as a reference model, and still we are using it as a reference model only. But TCP/IP, even though it is proposed as a reference model, it is an implemented model also. So it is a reference model used in the grandparent of all wide area computer networks, the ARPANET, and its successors, the worldwide internet. So this ARPANET is something I think known to all of us. So that is a research work sponsored by the Department of Defense, and is known to be the grandparent of all our current worldwide internet. So this is something that we started with. So it eventually connected hundreds of universities and government installations using the leased telephone lines. So from the point when it means just before this concept of internet, we have this so-called public switched telephonic network, right, where we are depending it for the call purpose, and that we when we shifted to ARPANET, the same telephonic lines were used to connect a number of government institutions, universities, etc. To have this internet communication possible at the very beginning stage. So when so that is the initial thing, they started connecting things using the telephone lines, but when the satellite and radio networks were added, the existing protocols had trouble internetworking with them, so a new reference architecture was needed. So this is the point at which people started thinking about the TCP/IP reference model. So the TCP/IP model, you can think as it's the one being proposed as part of the ARPANET research project. So thus from nearly the beginning, the ability to connect multiple networks in a seamless way was one of the major design goals. So we should be able to, so ARPANET in the sense, so that is a specific wide area network, right, where the universities and government installations were connected, but using that telephone leased lines. But it has to grow, right? It has to grow, and heterogeneous collection of networks to interwork together. And that time, other than this leased telephone lines, we should use the radio links, satellite links, etc. also as a media for communication, and everything should inter-network seamlessly. So that is the goal, and with that goal in mind, the TCP/IP reference model is proposed by people. So this architecture later became known as the TCP/IP reference model. So they proposed a network model that work with the heterogeneous networking concept, and later they called that reference model as TCP/IP reference model. So it is the one that being modeled with the ARPANET research project. So why the name? As I already told you, after its two primary protocol, the transmission control protocol that is being used in the transport layer, and the internet protocol, that is IP, which is being used in the network layer. Network layer in TCP/IP, we call that network layer as, say, the internet layer, that we will see that. Now I just want to highlight something. Even though in so just keep this in mind, in the ISO OSI reference model, when I discussed along with each layer, I was trying to map some of the popular protocols, but the thing is that model is purely it's just a grouping of functionalities only. So when you look at that 7-layer architecture, they are just telling what are all the functionalities of each layer and what kind of services it can provide, and the concept of interface is there with which the higher layer can have an access to the lower layer services. So in that way, in a more general way, that ISO OSI reference model is put forwarded by people. But the thing is that when I discussed that ISO as a reference model, I highlighted like in transport layer you can go for TCP protocol, UDP protocol, network layer we have IP, ICMP, everything. But actually these protocols were tightly coupled with the layers in TCP IP model only. In ISO OSI, as model alone, if you are looking at the model alone, there is no dependency with any of the protocols. So they were giving an abstract view only. So this is how the protocol should look like, and whether you can use TCP or something else, that is your choice. Ultimately that functionality should be provided, that's all. It is not having any close dependency with any protocol like TCP or IP. So that is something very important. This TCP IP UDP, that kind of protocol directly you can associate with the TCP IP model only. But just to get an overview, along with when I discussed each layer, I mentioned the protocols also, so that you can keep in your mind. So that about it. Then it was first described by Sir Fan Khan in 1974, and that is when this ARPANET and all just started, and later refined and defined as a standard in the internet community, that is by Braden in 1989. So that is that about the people who worked on this well-known model. So if you look at the TCP IP reference model, you can see the layers like this, and you can have a comparison. So you have to be very careful at this point. Again, something I want to clarify here. So in OSI, of course, we have the 7-layer architecture: the physical data link, network, transport session, and presentation and application layer. But when it comes to TCP IP, it's a 4-layer architecture, particularly, that is the physical and data link layer together. So simply physical layer is not highlighted because it is mostly depending on the hardware, right? So it can be treated not as part of the layered architecture. So that is something different. So they separated out physical layer, and they focused the layered architecture, the software part, starting from the data link layer, so which they call as the link layer simply, or sometimes the network access layer, like that. So the network layer, they were naming it as internet layer, and transport layer is there. The presentation and session layer, as I already told you, this is something most of the presentation and session layer activity you can see in the previous video, and that is found to be optional, right? So they are very thin, so we can avoid them, or we can implement them as part of the application layer. So the presentation session and the physical layer were absent in the TCP IP model, and they focused on the remaining 4 layers. Now what I want to tell you is, so this is a diagram I taken from the Tenenbaum textbook, but if you are looking at the Foroson textbook or some other textbook, you may see that the TCP IP model is explained as a 5-layer model. So in that case, they are taking this physical layer also into consideration. So in literature, it means it depends. Okay, if you want, you can give attention to physical layer also, but anyway, these 2 layers are absent, that is for sure, 5, 6 and 5. But as a main reference book that is given for is this Tenenbaum, you can follow with this as per this the one which is being explained in the Tenenbaum textbook, and with the reference they made, they are explaining it as a 4-layer architecture. But even when they move on to their discussion, again they are discussing this physical layer also, because that is something part of the whole thing, right? So if you want, you can separate it out, or you can make it part of the model. So whether it is 5-layer or 4-layer, that is something don't worry much about it. Simply this presentation and session, you don't have to give much attention on that, or you can implement it as part of the application layer. Okay, so they are absent, and physical layer, it's up to you whether you want to discuss as part of the layers. And the protocols also, if you are looking at it physical, along with some algorithms we are having, that's all, and there are no specific protocols associated with the physical layer. So they are mainly dealing with the mechanical, electrical aspects of the underlying media, so that can be treated separately. So that about the scenario. So hope you get an idea about it. Now let's see the layering concept one by one. I think this four layers we will be discussing. I thought we can stop at this point. Otherwise, the video may be lengthy. So we will next start with the link layer aspects and internet layer. Maybe on other video, the transport and application layer. So if I'm linking everything together, it will be a lengthier video. So that is I thought of splitting at this point. Okay, thank you.